Hey, what's up? So today we'll be creating this beautiful portfolio website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You'll learn how to make your website more accessible and use semantic HTML. You'll also learn how to use GSAP, which is a popular JavaScript animations library. So let's get started. I have my app.js, index.html, and my style.css. Inside of the index.html, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the boilerplate. And for the title, you could just put your name. I'm just gonna put that like that. You just put your name there. And I say this in all my tutorials. I do have the GitHub repo open on my other monitor, so I'll be looking back and forth just so I can get the code correct and we don't have to figure things out and we can just get this tutorial moving. All right, so I think first thing we should do is the navbar. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to put a comment on the navbar, and for some reason HTML, I gotta highlight it. All right, so this is going to be our navbar first, and we're just going to have nav, and we're going to have a div dot. Actually, let's not do this first. Let's not do that first. Let's go ahead and link our CSS first. So let's go ahead and do link CSS, and I'm zoomed in a lot now so you guys can see everything. I noticed my last tutorial, you guys can see the folder structure, so I'm kind of zoomed in, so if it looks weird, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird working like this when it's all zoomed in. All right, so for the style.css, let's go ahead and do some let's go ahead and open it up first. Go ahead and open up in live server, and it's going to open up in. All right, so that's that. And just for now, let's go ahead and just put a h1 of just hi, of just hello world. Make sure everything is working right. All right, there we go. So we got a h1, and our style is linked. Let's just grab the h1 and change the color to blue or aqua. Let's see if that works. Okay, everything is linked up, perfect. Let's do some resets. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do box size and border box. It's so freaking, I probably gotta zoom out some, man, just a tad bit, like maybe like this. All right, box size and border box. We're gonna do a padding of 0. I'm gonna do a margin of 0, and that's that. Let me see if there's anything else. And we're also gonna do an HTML of scroll behavior smooth. So this gives that nice smooth scroll whenever we click on the link. So scroll behavior smooth, and then we're gonna do grab all of the href, a tags, and we're gonna do a text decoration of none, and we're gonna do a color of inherit, like that. And then for the LIs, we're just gonna do a list style of none, like that. Alright, so these are just all general resets, we are going to have a, I forgot what they call these, like a helper class, or a, I forgot what it's called, but we are going to have like a container that we're going to put on all of our like inner containers. So we're going to do a container class, and this is just going to have a width of 89%, a margin of auto, and a max width of 1044 pixels. So that way, whenever we put this container class and inside of our HTML, we could it'll just automatically get these. So that way we don't got to keep rewriting this, because we use this a lot on every single section actually. All right, so that's that, and I believe we can start the nav now. We can get rid of this hello world here, and I'm going to open up on my other monitor, And let's go ahead and write the HTML first, and then we'll start styling it with the CSS. All right, so for nav, we're gonna do a nav like that. Let me just scroll down a little bit so you guys can see. And we're gonna have a div, and for the class name, it's gonna have that container helper class. And then it's also gonna have another class, and it's gonna be Navbar, so like that. And this is the little trick that a lot of people really don't know. So if you do a div dot whatever you want your class name to be dot another, if you want another class name, you just do that, and then if you press enter, it auto completes like that. So you guys can do that if you want. And then so inside here we're gonna have a tag, and it's just gonna have lead to our index, and we'll have an ARIA label for screen readers, so ARIA label, and it's just gonna say home like that. And in here, this is gonna be our logo. So in here we're gonna have an H1, and it's gonna have your, so let's do your first, and it's gonna be have a span. I'll say name with a dot like that. All right, we'll keep it like that. There we go. And as you can see, the container class, we got that nice little margin, and we're gonna have a nice margin on the left and the right, and it just looks so much better like this. All right, so that's our A tag, and let me just space it up a little bit so you guys can see. That's our A tag. That's our logo. Now we're going to do our menu items. So we're going to do a UL, and in here we're going to have a LI, and then it's going to be an A tag, and the first one is just going to have, that's going to be about. So let's do about me like that, and let me just maybe come out a little bit like that. That way I could just switch it like that. All right, so about me, and this is going to have an ARIA label as well of just about, actually about me like that. And what we can do, we can actually just copy this. So copy the whole LI and paste it 1, 2, 3 times. One, I actually pasted it 2 more times because we only got 3 links. Yeah, you just pasted 3 more times. We are gonna have a button at the end of this. All right, so for the second link, it's going to be, instead of about me, it's going to be projects like that. And for the link, projects, and we can also change the href as well to projects. And then the third one is going to be contact. And we can contact and change that to contact. Yeah, this is how it looks now. With the A tag general reset that we did a text declaration of none and a color of inherit. That's why the links look like this. And yeah, so now I say we go ahead and do the button. Let's go ahead and do that, and that's going to be inside of our UL. So underneath the LI, we're going to have a instead of another LI, we're just going to do an A tag. And in here we're going to have an href, and it's going to equal to our resume. And for this to work, you can add your resume inside of the file. So let's show you guys. So let's do a resume.pdf like that. This is our resume. I'm gonna say hello, okay, and close out of that. So that's our resume. And for the href, we're just gonna have download, and that doesn't have to equal to anything. And we also gonna have our ARIA label as well. So ARIA label, and this is just gonna equal to download resume, like that. And put download resume. Let's see. When we click on it, it should just download our resume. It shows 8 of them because that's how many times I tried this shit. So yeah, it downloads your resume like that. So when somebody click on it, it can. I think that's pretty cool. Alright, so that's that, and I forgot to add the button actually. So inside of did I add the button? So inside of an A tag, we need what the hell? We need to add the button. So right after this area label, let's just remove this download resume part first, and then we're gonna have a button inside here, and now this is gonna say download resume, like that. All right, so we got our button, and when we click on it, it downloads our resume. And this button is going to have a class of Navbar button. All right, that's that. And let me scroll up to make sure we didn't miss anything. Our UL needs a class name of nav menu, so nav dash menu. And that's that. All right, so now we need to add our mobile menu icons, but we're not gonna add that right now. I say we just go ahead and style up the desktop, and then we'll go back and add that. So let's head over to our styles, make some space, and I like splitting up because it's gonna be a long CSS file, so make sure you guys comment, you know, which section is which. So I'm gonna do nav styling like that, because it's a long CSS file. I mean, you could split it up. I was actually thinking about doing that, just splitting it up into different files, so you know, nav CSS and hero CSS, but I decided to just go old school and just put it all in one file. All right, I don't know if that's old school or not. I'm new to coding, okay? All right, so nav. All right, let me go over here. All right, so for the nav styling, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the nav like that, and we're gonna do a background color of this F. Let's do pound FEEFDE, like a little cream color, and let's just see that. So there we go, got a nice little cream color. And then we're gonna have a padding of 20 pixels, so that's top and bottom. And then we're also gonna do a 0 on left and right, because we already got that margin from the container, so we don't want any more padding on the left and right. And we're also gonna have a transition, and this transition is just gonna be for something else in the future. Actually, I probably shouldn't add it now, just so I can explain it. So let's not add that transition right now. Hopefully I can remember to add it. All right, so for the navbar, like that, we're gonna do a display of flex. We're gonna do a justify content of center and align items center. Sorry, for the justify content, we're gonna do a space between, like that. And now with that, we got our logo on this side and our links on the right side. That's the navbar. And now for our H1, so let's grab navbar H1. We're gonna do a font size of 30 pixels and a font weight. Oh, I know what we forgot to do. We forgot to add our font. So let's head over to Google Fonts right quick, and let's go ahead and add our font. So Google Fonts, and I use Ubuntu. I don't know how to say the word. It's one of my favorite fonts on here, to be honest. And we took 300, 400, 500, and 700. So 300. I'm gonna grab, where's 400? Oh, 400 is already added. Oh, we already got it added. Okay. So 300, 400, 500, and 700. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I do the import. I'll click on import and just copy this like that, and just paste it on the top of your CSS file like that. And we could go ahead and change the font family. The font family, Ubuntu, and then we're gonna do sans. Oh, it gotta be in quotes. I forgot. And that's comma sans serif like that. And now we got our font. All right. So down here for our Navbar H1, we did the font weight, which is nice, and that's how it looks. Now let's grab that span. I'm just gonna do a Navbar span, and we're gonna do a color of RGB. It's gonna be 5, 73, 5, like that. There we go. All right, and now let's grab the nav menu, which is these links here, and you guessed it, we are going to do a display flex. So nav menu, and we're going to do a display of flex, a align item center. Now let's see what that gets us. And most people, this is my only this was my problem when I first started. I think I would mess up on this part. So instead of adding a gap, which I do, so instead of adding this gap of 3 rem like that, so that's what we're gonna keep. I forgot what I used to do. I used to add a margin left, I believe, to each link, and that just ruined everything. So just make sure you add this gap. This is like this magic right here. I love this line of code, this gap. It's amazing. But yeah, I used to add a margin or margin right actually. So margin right, and that would just throw everything off when you're trying to make it responsive and stuff. It was horrible. That was when I first started. But yeah, the gap 3 rem. And let's grab the LIs now. So let's do a nav menu, LI, and we're gonna do a font weight of 500. All right, make it a little bit bold. All right, so now let's grab that button. Do navbar --button, and we're gonna do our background color. It's gonna be that RGB. And once you typed it in once, you could just, it should be autocomplete. Gonna do RGB, like RGB green. And we're gonna do a padding of 7 pixels top and bottom, and 10 pixels left and right, a little bit big. And we're gonna do a border radius of 5 pixels, a little rounded on the edges. We're gonna do a color of white, a border of none, I forgot that. Border of oh wow. Border none. I be writing in Tailwind sometimes on here, man. I use too much Tailwind. And do a cursor of pointer. All right, there's our button. And now we need a hover effect. So let's go ahead and down to our hover. We could just actually do nav bar button and then hover like that. And we're just gonna change the background color to RGBA, and I'm gonna do 5, 73, 5, 0.697. So this A is like the opacity. So this is like me just messing with this here, and I just changed the opacity basically. So it's this color, but I probably should have just copied that and just added the opacity on here. So it's 0.697, and you can play around with that a little bit. So when we hover, it's like a little nice little shade to it. Not a shade, but a little, looks, you know, it looks like it's being hovered on. Okay. Let's do a transition. All 0.3 seconds, and we do ease in and out like that. Now we hover, nice transition. Alright, so that is the nav for that. Let's see how we're gonna do this. So for let's go back to our index, and let's go ahead and grab our mobile. Let's do our mobile icons. And actually, I forgot, I didn't use any icons for the mobile icons, like the hamburger menus and the X button. I actually created my own because I just like it. I like doing that so much better than grabbing the icons. So I'm trying to see. So we're inside the container. So right after our UL, we're gonna have a div. Let's do a div.hamburger. Like that. And in here we're gonna have 3 spans. So I'm gonna do a span.bar, and you can just copy this and just paste it twice. Probably would have been faster if I typed it, to be honest. So we got our bars, and I believe that's it. That's everything for the HTML for the nav. So let's head back over to the CSS, and right after this, we need to create our bars, our hamburger menus. So we're gonna do .bar, and we're gonna background color of our RGB, and I'm gonna do a display of block. But we still shouldn't see anything once we add this width. So width of 23 pixels. Maybe, oh yeah, we need a height as well. So do a height of 3 pixels. Now we should see like a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, like a little block there. And this is where the magic is about to happen. We're gonna do a margin of 5 pixels, so that's top and bottom. And then we're gonna do auto for left and right. And now we got a hamburger menu. And we're also gonna add a transition to this. Let's do transition, all 0.3 seconds, and then ease in and out like that. All right, so we want to get rid of this on desktop, obviously. So let's grab the hamburger, and we're just going to do a display of none. Now it's gone on desktop. And all right, so now let's go down to our media queries. So how I did it in here, normally I see people having their media queries at the bottom, but I just did it with each section just to make it easier for this tutorial. Like I said, it would have been better if I split up the files because it's a really long CSS file, I'm not gonna lie. So under this hamburger menu, under the hamburger, we're going to do a at media only screen and max width, and it's going to be 768 pixels. All right, so let's go ahead and resize our screen to that, like right there, I believe. All right, and first thing we're going to do is grab the hamburger menu and do a display of block. Now we can see it. So as you can see, it's right there. And underneath that, we're going to grab our nav menu, and we're going to do a position of fixed. All right, as you can see, it threw it out of the whole flow. and we do a top of 4.4 rem. See, it's right down there now. And we do a right of 0. And let's go ahead and add our background color just so we can see everything of that little cream color. All right, background color of that. And we're gonna do a width of 100% and a height of 100%, like that. And we're gonna do a flex direction of column and a padding top and bottom 20 pixels and 0 left and right. And let's add a Z index because we are going to need this, because we're going to make the hero section position relative, I believe, and it kind of throws everything off. So we got to add the Z index like that. And we're also going to have a transition on here of 0.3 seconds and a gap of 5 rem. That space out the links a little bit. And I added a weight. Let's take this off. Take off that padding. Actually keep that padding on. Let's do a padding top of 6 rem. See what happens. Okay. I like that better. All right, let's keep that. It's just I don't know if that's smart to have. So I got padding top and bottom 20 pixels. I mean, what I can do is probably this. So I could do, if I want a padding top, I could just do 6 rem here, and then do left. Let's see how that looks first. Let's take this off. Okay, we just keep it like that. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. So now we want to get rid of this. We don't want to see it right now because the menu is closed. So when you see the hamburger menu, that means the menu is closed. So let's do a left of negative 100%. Like that. So now it's gone. All right, and now we need to add I said we go ahead and do the JavaScript first. Let's go and do the JavaScript and then we'll finish up the classes. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so before we start writing any JavaScript, we got to head over to our HTML and add our JavaScript. So inside of our body, right underneath here, we're just going to add app. Actually, we're just going to do script, and it's going to be app.js like that. All right, so inside of our app.js, this is where we're gonna put all our JavaScript. Let me go ahead and open it up on my other monitor. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and grab, let's just put a comment here. It's gonna be Navbar. Let's do responsive nav like that. And for some reason I gotta highlight it. I don't know why it keeps making me do that. All right, and here we're gonna have we're gonna grab all of our elements. So we're gonna do a const hamburger, and this is gonna equal a document dot query selector, and we're gonna grab that class from CSS. So it's gonna be dot hamburger. Make sure you put it in quotes. All right, and now we're gonna grab our nav menu. So do a so actually we could just probably just copy this and paste that, and then just change this to nav menu. Make sure you use camel case and document dot query selector. So it's dot nav dash menu. All right, and then here we're gonna grab our so I got more stuff here for other things. That's why it's kind of confusing. We can just keep it like this for now. Let's just go ahead and put a click event on top of our hamburger. So hamburger dot add event listener, and we're going to be listening out for a click, and it's going to have an arrow function like that. Oh, make sure we add the comma because it will not work, so make sure you add a comma right after click. And we're just going to do hamburger dot class list dot toggle, and we're going to toggle active. Okay, we haven't made this class yet. And same for the nav menu, so nav menu dot class list dot toggle, and we're just gonna toggle the same thing, active. So with, I want to say 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3, about 5 lines of JavaScript code, you have a responsive navbar. That's all. This is the only code we need to have a responsive navbar. So let's head back to style.css and start writing these active classes. All right, so right after this nav menu, you see where we at? Let's add our active class. So we're going to do a dot nav menu dot active, like that. So we're adding on active class. The only thing in here, we're going to do a left of 0. All right, so let's see if this works. So when we click on this, we should see the menu pop up, but you can see the hamburger menu doesn't turn into an X. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna grab .hamburger .active, and we're gonna grab the bar, and we're gonna grab the nth child of 2. So we're grabbing the middle bar, and for this one we're gonna have an opacity of 0. Okay, and now what we can do is just copy this, the class name, copy that, and just paste it again. And this one is going to be 1, nth child of 1. And here we're going to have a transform, and we'll have a translate of 8 pixels, and then a rotate of 45 degrees, like that. All right, so let's see how it looks now. Click on it. As you can see, the middle one disappears, but the other one turns into like an X. Well, not an X, but like a little diagonal. And now we need to do the third child. So paste it again here and change this to 3. And with this, we could just actually copy this transform and paste it in this one, and then just add negative. So -8 and -45 degrees. And as you can see, that did not work. Oh, okay, I see why. We gotta do a translate of Y. So translate Y for both. And now we should have a nice X. So let's click on it, bam. And that's how you create a responsive navbar, guys. And you come out, you come in, and let's see. All right, cool. So the navbar is complete. Let's go ahead and start the hero section now. All right, so for this hero section, you are going to need a image. You can download the image with the link in the description. I have a Google Drive link. But here's the hero image here. But we are going to want to just organize this a little bit. Let's create a folder, and it's going to be assets. And this is where we're going to have all our images. Let's toss this hero inside of there and close out of that. So now we got that folder ready. All right, so let's go ahead and start our hero section. And like we did on the nav, I'm just going to write all the HTML, and then we're going to head over to the CSS and start styling it. So right under here, let's do hero section. All right. So this is gonna have a section. So let's do section, and this is gonna have a class name of hero. I don't know why I keep saying class name like it's React. And for our div, I'm gonna do div dot container dot hero container dash container, like that. All right, and do div, another div. We're gonna do div dot hero info. So this is gonna be the info that's on the left. Hero info. And then here we're gonna have a H group. So this is, I learned this tag, this like semantic HTML. I learned this, I want to say, a few weeks back. So whenever you have, I guess, a group of H tags or headings, you can put the H group like this. And the H4, and here it's gonna be a hello. I am Antonio. So it's gonna be obviously your name, Antonio R. And then we're gonna have H1 underneath here, and it's gonna say I'm a full stack software engineer. All right, and underneath this H group, we're gonna have a P tag, not that. And this is gonna have this sentence. You can put any sentence you want. I'm not gonna type all of this. I put with a passion. Let me just paste it first before I write it. Before I say it. With the passion for new technology and tools, creating something from nothing is amazing. Is an amazing feeling. I don't know what the fuck I was writing, to be honest. So P tag, and then right underneath this P tag, I'm gonna have another div. I'm gonna do a div. Let's do a div dot hero button container, like that. And we're gonna have two buttons in here. I'm gonna have a button. One's gonna be for projects and one gonna be for hire me. So this is gonna have an ARIA label of view projects. And make sure you type projects in there. See where we at. So we got projects. And then the next one is gonna be a button, and this is gonna be for hire me. So let's have an ARIA label of hire me. Hire me, like that. All right, so we got our two buttons, and now we need to do our image. So right underneath the second, wait, let me just make sure. So this is the hero info. So right outside of the hero info, I'm gonna have another div, and this is going to be hero image container, like that. And this is where we're gonna have our image. src is gonna be assets slash hero image, hero png. And for the alt, you can just put your name, even though this isn't me. Just put Antonio. Actually, this is, I put this here for the alt, like that. All right, and I believe that is it. Let's see what we got. So we got our image and we got our text. So now let's head over to the CSS and start styling this thing. All right, so right underneath here, I'm going to put hero styling. Oh my god. All right, get over here. All right, so hero styling. This is a lot of styles. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the hero, and we're gonna just change the background color to our cream color, just like that. So now it looks like everything is the nav and the hero section connects. And we're gonna grab our hero container. I'm gonna do a display of grid. So we use grid a lot. If you guys followed my 90-day coding journey series, you guys know that I use flex all the time. But in this one I use grid a ton because I learned this new grid template column trick. So we're gonna do repeat, and I'm gonna do 2, comma, min max. So min max, and it's gonna be 0, comma, 1 fr, like that. All right, there we go. And underneath this grid template columns, we're gonna do a align item center, and that should move the text right there near our image. And we're gonna do a gap of 1.5 rem. All right, and that gap is mainly for whenever we resize the screen, because I don't think you'll see this gap right now. So let's see, save it. Okay, maybe you do. I saw it move a little bit. All right, so gap 1.5 rem. And now let's grab the image. So let's do pound hero image container, and I'm gonna do a display of flex. So I'm gonna do display flex for this image, and do a justify content of center, and align item center. All right, cool. And that's so everything can line up, because as you can see it was like all the way over there. So now it's like perfectly lined up with that. All right, and let's grab the H4 and the H1. So let's do hero info, and I'm gonna grab the H4, and it's gonna have a font size of 1.12 rem. What was I doing? Did I meant to write 1.2 rem? Let's just keep it 1.2. I don't know why it's 1.12. We're gonna do a line height of 1.75 rem, like that. And we're gonna have a color of 6B7280. It's like a little light gray. And do a font weight of 400, and a margin bottom of 10 pixels. Let's see where we're at. There we go. That's our H4 right there. You guys can see it. And now let's grab the H1 and start styling that. So hero info H1. We're gonna do a font size of 3 rem, like that. A line height, let me go over, a line height of 1, and for the color it's going to be the same color as that. So same color as that, and we're gonna do a font weight of 400, and a margin bottom of 10 pixels, like that. Let's see where that gets us. Nice. All right, now let's grab this P paragraph right there. Let's do hero info P, and this one is gonna have a font size of 1 rem, a line height of 1.5 rem, a font weight of 400, and a color. We actually use a different color. We use 48494B. I think it's like a little darker gray. Yep. Alright, so there we go. And now for the buttons. Just grab these buttons, and then we'll start working on this image, getting it looking better. So for the button, we're gonna do so let's do hero dash button dash container. We're gonna do a margin top of 20 pixels, a display of flex, and a gap of 10 pixels, like that. There's our buttons. Let's start styling them up a bit. So we're just gonna grab each one with the inf child pseudo class. We're gonna do hero button container, and do button, and do inf child. This is probably more work than adding the class, but this is for training purposes only. Okay. Inf child 1, and we're gonna do, for the first button, we're gonna do a background color of our RGB, so 5, 73, and 5, and it's gonna be color of white, a border of none, a padding of 8 pixels top and bottom, and 15 pixels left and right, a border radius of 5 pixels, a cursor pointer, and we can go ahead and add our transition over here now. So let's add transition 0.3 all, let's do all 0.3 seconds, ease in and out, like that. There we go. We got our button there, our green button. We can go ahead and add our hover to this one right now, actually. So let's just grab this, paste it there, and just add hover. And it's gonna be the same thing as the other one. So we're gonna do a background color, and it's gonna be RGBA. So what we can do is just do RGB. Oh, it's already here. RGBA 0.697. We hover, gives a nice little hover effect. Alright, so now let's grab the second button. So it's gonna be the same thing, but the inf child of 2. And this one is gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna do a background color of transparent. And same pattern, so we're gonna do a pattern of 8 pixels, top and bottom, 15 pixels left and right, and a border radius 5 pixels. And we're going to do a border of solid 1 pixel, and we're going to have our RGB 5, 73, and 5, and cursor pointer, like that. And let's also add our transition as well. All 0.3 seconds, ease in and out. Nice. So there we go. And now let's add our hover effect to this one. So we want 2 hover, and we would just want to change the background color to RGBA. So this one's a little bit different. Actually no, it's not. It's the same thing. RGBA 573.5 0.697, and we're just gonna change the color of the text as well to white, like that. When you hover, just like that. I did change it to this green at first, but it just didn't look right because it just looks like a inactive button when you do that. But at least now when you hover, it looks like, you know, a button is active. And I also tried to remove the border as well, but it kind of threw everything off. So I just kept the border. It doesn't look bad at all, actually. All right, so that's that. And now let's work on our image. Let's head over back to our CSS, and we're gonna grab our image. So we're gonna do hero dash container image And we're just gonna do a height of 550 pixels. And you can do a position of relative. And there we go. Perfect. All right. We do have a little bit of media queries to fix this on mobile. So let's go ahead and change this to mobile view. As you can see, it does not look good at all. So let's head over down here. That's where our media query is gonna go. But before I do that, I actually want to head up and grab this. I do not feel like typing this again. And head down. There we go. All right. So we're gonna do hero container, and in here we're gonna do grid template columns. This is like, well, I'm starting to really like grid again. Well, not again, but I'm starting to like grid. So min max, and do 0 and 1 FR like that. And just like that, you got, like, I don't know, I just like it so much better than Flexbox dealing with containers like this now. So grid template columns, and then we're just gonna do a text align center, and that should just fix everything except for our button. We do gotta fix that right quick. So let's grab that. We're gonna do hero button container, and we're just gonna do a justify content of center. And I should make those go center. And we could add a little bit of margin, because as you can see, it's a little bit close to our nav. Let's add some margin on the top of the H4, and that should just toss everything down. So let's do a hero info H4, and we're just going to do a margin top of 40 pixels. And there we go. And just like that, we have responsive nav and a responsive hero section. Let's go ahead and start the other the skills section is next. All right, so I do apologize. I just noticed when I looked back at the last footage, I had light shining in from my window. I just closed the blind, so should be good now. All right, so let's go ahead and start the skills section. And let's see what we're gonna need. So we are gonna need some icons for this section actually. Let me go ahead and head over to the HTML. Let's see what icons we're gonna use. All right, inside of our browser, let's go ahead to this website called Ions Icons or something like that. Let me just look it up first. I think it's this Ions 8 icons. I forgot what it's called. It wasn't that. Ion icons. I thought it was called Ion icons. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So go to ionic.io/ion icons, and you should go see this page here. And this is where we're gonna have our icons, but first we gotta add it to our project. So let's go over to usage, and then we're gonna copy the script tag here and paste it inside of our HTML file. So here, so underneath of this meta tag, we can go ahead and paste that. And just like that, we have a package installed, I guess. That's all right, so let's go back to here and let's start writing some HTML. So this is going to be our skills section. All right. Okay, so let's go start writing some HTML. We're gonna do a section, and this is gonna have a class of skills like that, and this is also gonna have an ID of skills. Actually, no, it's kind of ID of about like that, and we're gonna have a div, and we're gonna have our container. And it's also gonna have a skills dash container like that. I spelled skills wrong. All right. So in this container, we're gonna have another div, and this is gonna have skills heading as a class. Skills heading, and we have an h2 in here. It's gonna say what I do. What the f did I do? So what I do? Okay. H2 of that, and I have a p tag, and I'm just gonna copy this in here like that. So results oriented developer with a dynamic passion for creating dynamic. Oh, I said dynamic. Developer with a strong passion for creating dynamic and intuitive user interfaces. I actually got this line on my resume. But yeah, apparently this line isn't working because I haven't got one single call from my resume yet. So that sucks. And make sure you guys add the span around intuitive user interfaces. So make sure you guys add a span right around that because we're gonna make that part green. All right, so that's our skills heading. So right underneath that, we're gonna have another div with the class name of skill boxes like that. And now we can start doing our boxes. I'm gonna do one, and I'm just gonna copy and paste the other two because there's 3 of them. So we're gonna do a div dot skill box like that for the class name, and we're gonna have a icon. So I used a art, so just type in like art or something, or maybe brush. I use this here, and I think I use sharp. So use this brush icon and just copy it like that. And then in here inside of our skill box, we're just gonna go ahead and paste it like that. But we also want to have aria hidden. Add some accessibility to this. Aria hidden, and it's gonna have true. That. So right underneath this icon, we have an H3, and it's gonna say web design. And then underneath that, we're gonna have a p tag, and this is gonna have some lorem that I'm just gonna go ahead and copy over here. All right, and let's see where we at with that. There we go. We got our, that's one. So what we can do is actually just probably copy this box 2 more times and then just change up the content inside of it. So 1 box, 2 box, 3 box. All right, and you guys can change this, you know, to fit. So if you're a UI UX designer, you can put like Photoshop logo or something. I think they got like Photoshop, right? Photoshop, or you could do something like this, or if I don't know, Figma. Do they got Figma? Oh, they do got Figma logo here. But you can you know, you can change this to fit your skills. So for this one, we're gonna do a phone portrait. This one here, and sharp. I'm gonna copy that. Head over to the second one. Yeah, head over here. Actually, I probably just changed his name. Let's just change the name to phone dash portrait dash sharp. Let's see if that worked. No, it didn't. Oh. Alright, there we go. So phone portrait sharp, and aria hidden true, and we're just gonna change it to mobile development. Probably spelled that wrong again. Alright. Now for the third box, we're just gonna use pencil sharp. So let's change brush to pencil. like that. Wonder why that didn't work. Okay, there it goes. It just took some time. And then change the name to content writing. Alright. So I believe that's all of the HTML for the skills section that we need. Let me just make sure. Alright, yeah, I think we're good on that. So let's head over to the styles and start writing some CSS. Alright, and scroll down. So this is gonna be skill styling. Alright, so first thing, we're gonna grab the skills. And I'm gonna do a padding of top and bottom, 3 rem, and 0 left and right. Nice little padding on top and bottom. And we're gonna grab the H2 first. So let's do skills, heading, H2. Do a font size of 2 rem, a line height of 1, a color of dark, this dark gray here that we used. We're gonna do a font weight of 400 and a margin bottom of 10 pixels. All right, so that's that there. And now let's grab the P paragraph, skills heading, P, and then we're gonna do a font size of 1 rem, line height 1.5 rem, a font weight of 400, and a color of that dark gray, like that. Now we need to grab this span and make this part bold and green. So let's grab that span. So we'll do skills heading, span, and then we're gonna do our color, our RGB color, and then just do a font weight of 700, like that. All right, cool. So now let's work on these boxes. And like I said, I've been using grid a lot, and that's what we're going to use. So let's do skill boxes, and we're going to do a display of grid. I'm going to do grid template columns, and it's going to be the exact same thing as the other ones, but just change the first number. So we're going to do 3 columns instead of, I think we used 2 for the hero section. We're going to do 3 columns. So we're going to do a min max of 0, 1 FR, like that. Let's see what that gets us. There we go. And let's go ahead and do a gap of 30 pixels. And a text align of center, and a margin top of 50 pixels. There we go. Nice. Now, as you can see, it looks a little weird. So let's add a box shadow around each box. So let's go ahead and grab the skill box. So we're gonna do skill box, and we're gonna have a box shadow of RGBA 0, comma, this is pretty long, 0, comma, 0, comma, 0.16, oh, wait, 0, comma, 0, comma, 0, comma, 0.16, and after that, we're gonna do a 0 pixels, 1 pixel, and then a 4 pixel. Like that. All right, cool. And then we just need to add a padding of 30 pixels, make it look a little bit better. And there we go. So now let's start grabbing the content inside of our skill box. And we're going to grab the H3 first. Let's do skill box, H3. And And we're gonna do a font weight of 400, a color of our gray, and then a margin bottom of 5 pixels, like that. All right, and now for the p tag for the paragraph, the skill box p, font weight 1 rem. And I kind of see myself repeating I kind of see that I'm repeating myself with this P. So I probably could have went up here and made a like a reset for the P tag, kind of how I did this container. So that way I don't have to keep typing this, because as you can see, I used the same styling for the P tag for damn near all of the paragraphs. So line height 1.5 rem, font weight of 400, and a color of our dark gray, like that. So there we go, looking nice. All right, so that's it. Well, actually no, we got one media query we have to do, one single line. So we're gonna do, let's go ahead and resize our screen and watch this magic work. As you can see, it looks weird. So let's go ahead and do our media query. So add media only screen and max width 768 pixels. And we're gonna do scale boxes, yep. And we're just gonna do a grid template columns. Repeat 1, min max 0, 1 FR, like that. And with that, we have responsiveness. And when we come out, still looks nice. Come in, looks nice. And there we go. I kind of noticed that I think I forgot something inside of the maybe not. Okay, I think I know what we did, what we forgot. So on top of here, I actually had another like helper class. So, and that was for the icons, because we use the same exact styling for the icons for our entire site. So up here in the container, I'm gonna grab ion dash icon, like that. And we're gonna have a background color of our RGB, like that. And as you can see, it's changing all of the icons for this. And we're gonna have a padding of 7 pixels, a font size of 20 pixels, and a color of white, and a border radius of 50 pixels, and a margin top of 10 pixels. Actually, I meant a margin bottom, like that. All right, cool. So there we go. Let's make sure. All right, now it looks better. I was wondering, I was like, it looks a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, without the styling for the icon, it kind of looked okay, but I know that I had some color there as well. Alright, so there we go. Now let's go ahead and start the project section. So before we do the project section, I think we should go ahead and work on our navbar a little bit more. So in the demo, I don't know if you guys saw, but whenever we scroll, the navbar kind of sticks to the top, and it also changes colors. So let's go ahead and add that feature now, and then we'll work on the project section. So head over to our app.js, and right after this responsive nav, we're gonna just have, let's just do sticky nav. I like splitting up my JavaScript, keep everything organized. All right, so here we're gonna do a const. I'm gonna grab the nav, so I'm gonna do a const nav, and this is gonna equal our document dot query selector and it's gonna have just nav. Without, make sure you don't add a dot because it's nav. And then I also got a back to top button as well on here, but we'll add that after. So let's add our function. Our function, and it's gonna be our handle scroll function. Let me just space it out a little bit. So handle scroll like that. And in here we're gonna do a if else. So if window dot scroll y, that's top and bottom, scroll y, and if it's greater than 0, all right, we want to do a nav dot classless dot add, we haven't made this yet, sticky nav. So basically, translation, whenever scroll y, whenever we pass 0, whenever we start scrolling, our nav is going to add this classless sticky nav, which we're going to create inside of our CSS. And then else, we're just going to have a nav dot classless dot remove, and we're going to remove sticky nav, sticky dash nav, like that. All right, so with that, so it adds it once we start scrolling, and then we remove it. So still inside this function, actually outside of the function, I'm gonna have a window dot add event listener, and instead of click or anything, I'm gonna do a scroll. So we're listening out for a scroll, and we're gonna do our handle scroll function like that. So as you can see, nothing happens because we don't have our class inside of our styles. So inside of our nav styling, so you can add this anywhere. I'm just gonna add it right underneath this hamburger. Inside of here, we open it up here. All right, so now we have our sticky dash nav, and we have a position of fix. All right, let's see once we start scrolling. Didn't even see, oh, I forgot the Y. As you can see, when we start scrolling, you see it there. Now we can actually start styling it up a bit. So we're gonna do a top of 0, all right, and do a left of 0, and do a width of 100%. And with that, we should see it perfectly now. But as you can see, we gotta change the color, and we also gotta add a Z index of 100, like that. And let's go and change the background color to white. You want to start scrolling, turns to white. And let's also add a box shadow of 0, 2 pixels, 4 pixels, and then RGB A 0, 0, and then 0.1, like that. All right, and I guess we'll add a transition as well here. 0.3 seconds, all ease in and out, like that. Okay, so there we go. We got our nice scroll. We do need to add a transition up here on our nav bars, our nav as well. So right here, add transition, all 0.3 seconds, ease in and out. Now, nice little transition. There we go. Nice. All right, cool. I'm trying to think of what should we do now? We probably should add, so whenever we have the mobile menu open, we can scroll with it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest, because I mean it takes up the whole entire width anyway, but as you can see, it changes the color as well, and we don't want that. So let's add another class in here, and we're going to name this one we're gonna name this one no scroll. Where is it? Maybe I got it up here. No scroll. Wait, did I not add that into this project? Okay, I don't think I added it in this project, so I guess we'll just create it now. Thought I did. Okay. All right. So let's head back over to the. Hold on. I think I know where it's at. 1 second. Body. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know where it's at. It's all the way at the bottom. That's why. So up here, inside of our general resets, let's just add actually inside of our navbar, because this is a navbar thing. So right underneath the sticky nav, let's add another class. It's gonna be called no scroll, like that. And we're gonna do a overflow hitting, like that. All right. So, so with that, let's head back over to our app.js, and what we want to do, we're gonna grab our body up here now. So we're gonna do a cons body, and we're gonna do a document query selector, and it's gonna be body, like that. And then inside of our hamburger event listener, we're just gonna do a body classless toggle no scroll, like that. Let's see if this works. Once we open, we cannot scroll. So even if we open on when the background's white, we can't scroll. Nice. So that's what we want. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on our project section. All right, so for this project section, we are going to need some images. I highly recommend your own images for your projects. If you guys don't know how to remove the background to your images, there's actually a website that I've recently started using. I normally would go into Photoshop and remove the backgrounds, but there's this website called BG Remover. Remove, something like that. So yeah, remove.bg, and you drag your images in and it removes the background. It's really nice. Like it's actually magic. It's really cool. I'm pretty sure there's other websites like this as well, but that's what I use to remove these background images. These aren't my projects, by the way. I went on Google and typed in weather project, and these popped up. But yeah, I highly recommend this, and remove the backgrounds on your images, so it'll look better. But yeah, so let's get started. Let's write some HTML and get over here. So right underneath here, this will be our projects section. So all right, so here we're gonna have a section with a class name of projects and an ID of projects as well. All right, and we're gonna have another div, and it's gonna have our container class, and it's gonna have another class, projects container, like that. And I'm trying to think of how we should do this. So let's do a div. I'm gonna do one and then just copy the same for each one. I'm gonna do a div, and this is gonna have a class of project, like that. And in here, it's gonna be another div. It's gonna have our h3. And it's gonna be the title of your project. So I'm gonna do weather app. And a p tag for like the frameworks or stuff that you use to make it. So I did next.js, tailwind, and I don't know, Prisma. All right. So after that div with those in it, we're gonna do another div, and this is gonna have our project image container. Okay, and this is gonna hold our image. So we're gonna do image. SRC is gonna be assets. Project one. The alt. Just the weather project. And that's our image. And then right underneath this image, still inside this image container div, we have a button with the class name of project button. That. And the button is going to say show project. Like that. Okay. All right, so outside of the project image container, we're gonna have another div, but another's gonna be in it, and you guys are gonna know why in a second. So in another div, and it's gonna have a class of just project. Well, actually, you're gonna know now because of the class name, project hover bg. Like that. All right, cool. So there we go. Now, so it kind of looks okay like this. All right, so that's our project. So now we can just literally just copy this. I believe I did it 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I did 6 projects. If you got more, you can do more as well. So let's do 1 2 3 4 5 6. Paste that. And we got 6. All right, and now let's head over to the CSS actually and start styling. Styles, scroll down and do project styling, like that. Open it up on here. All right, cool. The first thing we're gonna do is grab our project container, projects container, and we're gonna do a display of grid and grid template columns, repeat 2, comma, min max 0, comma 1fr. That, and just like that, we already got nice looking grid. I just gotta add, gap and all that stuff. So let's do a gap of 3 rem. All right, and now let's grab the project. So pound project, dot project, and we're gonna do a background color of RGB A. Do 112, comma 128, comma 144, comma 0.067. 0.067. Like that. It's like a little bit grayish white. Let me just make sure I got that number right. That's why it takes me a while to type this, because I'm trying to get it right. So 112, 128, 144, 0.067. Nice. And now let's add a box shadow and make it pop a little bit. The box shadow, and this is going to be RGBA, and it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.16, and we're gonna do 0 pixels, 1 pixel, 4 pixels, like that. As you can see, now it makes it look a lot better. All right, let's grab the H3. So we're gonna do project H3. And do a font size of 1.3 rem, a line height of 1.5 rem, a font weight of 400, a color of a dark gray, and then a margin bottom of 3 pixels. All right, that was that there. And now let's grab our P tag, so project P. And like I said, I've been using the same exact thing. Font size 1.3 rem. Actually, I think I used 1 rem for the other ones. And then line height 1.5 rem. And a font weight 400. And a color of our dark gray, like that. All right, cool. Hold on. Okay, no. So yeah, this one needs to be 1 rem. Sorry. Like that. All right, cool. So now let's grab our button there. Oh, actually, let's fix this image first. This looks weird. So let's do a project image container. I'm gonna do a display of flex. And hold on. Okay, yep. Display of flex. I'm gonna do a line item center. And then we're gonna do a justify content of center. Okay. There we go. And let's grab the image now. So do project image. And we're just gonna do a width of 100%. And then a max width of 500 pixels. And there you see the image looks nice there, but we got this button that we don't want there. But let's go ahead and style it first because we're about to get rid of it. So right underneath this P tag, let's go ahead and style this. So project button. And we're gonna do a position absolute. Okay. And we're gonna do a top of 50%. This is the trick to get stuff in the middle. But I believe we gotta make our, okay, we forgot something. We forgot to put so inside on our project, our box shadow there, we gotta add let's add a border radius 5 pixels, a padding of 5 pixels, a cursor pointer, and then position relative. And there we go. Now it looks better. There's our show project button there. So we're gonna do a top 50%. I'm gonna do a left of 50%. And then we're gonna do a transform, translate, negative 50%, comma, negative 50%. And that should get it right in the middle of our container. All right, negative 50%, and we're gonna do a background color of our RGB, green color, like that. And do a color of white for the text, a border of none, and padding 8 pixels top and bottom, and 15 pixels left and right, and then a border radius of 5 pixels. Border radius 5 pixels. Nice. All right, so that's that. And now we want to get, so we only want this to show when we hover. Sorry about that. We only want this to show when we hover. So let's go ahead and put display none now. So display none. All right. And now we're gonna grab the project, hover, and then we also gonna grab the project. Yeah, we're gonna grab the project button as well, like that. And we're gonna do a display a block and a cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. Okay, so now when we hover, we should be able to see it. And there we go. Nice. All right. So the reason why I added that div, the empty div underneath, so this div here is for whenever we hover, I kind of want, you know, a little filter. Because I don't know, you can't really see that green button there. So let's grab the project, hover BG, and we're gonna do a width of 100%, a height of 100%, and it's taking 100% of its parent value. So it's not going to be the whole page. We're going to do position absolute, and we're going to do a background color of RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.278. All right, you don't see it. Did I say the class? Let me make sure I put the class name right. Project hover BG. Okay. And we're gonna do a top of 0. So now we should see it. There we go. Alright, as you can see, it's there, but we only want it to show whenever we hover. So let's go ahead and put display none for this. And now let's grab it whenever we hover. So we're gonna do project hover, and then we're gonna do project hover BG, and we're just gonna do a display of block like that. So as you can see, now it's there whenever we hover. Nice. All right, cool. And I believe that is it. We could probably, let's see if this works. Let's add a transition to our project. Oh, 0.3 seconds, ease in and out like that. Maybe a nice transition, maybe. No, I think it probably has to go inside. No, we don't need it. I don't got a transition on my other one. All right, so cool, that's it. Let's go ahead and do our media query. And like I said before, it's just gonna be magic with this grid. As you can see, it looks like that now. But whenever we do our media query, so let's do at media screen. I don't know why I did that. Only screen and max width 768 pixels. All right, and we're just gonna do a projects container, do a grid template columns, repeat 1 min max 0, 1 FR, and just like that, we have a responsive section. Nice. All right, cool. So that is the project section. yeah, that's it for that. Let's go ahead and work on our, let me just make sure that we're not forgetting anything. Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and work on the contact form and then the footer, and then we're gonna add some GSAP, and then we'll be all complete with this project. So right under the projects, let's go ahead and put a comment saying contact section. And all right, so we're gonna do a section with a class name of contact, and then this also gonna have an ID of contact as well. And in here we're gonna have another div with our container class container, and then we can also do a contact container as well class on it. And we're gonna have another div, and the class name is going to be contact info, and this is going to be the left side of the contact section. So contact info, we're gonna have an h2 that says contact me, and we're gonna have a p tag that says this. I'm about to just copy it. I am open to discussing projects and stuff like that. Your next project, improving your code or helping with user experience. And then underneath here we're gonna have a h3, and this is gonna say email me at, and then underneath here I have another p tag, and this is gonna have a aria label of email address, and then you could just do hello. Well, you could do your email, of course. I'm just gonna do hello at yourname.com. All right, so that is the left side. Now we need to do the right side, and this is going to have, actually underneath here we're going to have our socials. So underneath this p tag, still inside the contact info, underneath the p tag we're going to have another div, and this is going to have the class name of contact socials, like that. And then in here we're going to have a h4 that says socials, and then underneath the h4 have another div, and this is going to have a class name of contact social links, like that. And now we need to find our links. Let's make sure everything looks good. So that's all we got so far. So let's go ahead and get our links, and we're using the same thing, the icon thing. So let's do a href, and then we could just do a pound for now. It's not going to lead anywhere. And then I'm gonna have an aria label. Obviously you'll put your social for the href. Aria label and equals Facebook first, and then in here we're gonna have a icon dash icon, and a name is going to be a logo dash Facebook, and like that. And then we need, there we go, that should be good. Let's see, and we should have the styling from our universal style we did on the icon. So there we go, and now we could just copy this, and I believe we did 3 more icons, so 1, 2, 3, and save that. And then we got all 3, and we could just change them up. So we did LinkedIn and logo, LinkedIn, and then here we did Twitter, logo Twitter, And then last but not least, Instagram. And logo Instagram. Like that. Alright, cool. We got our logos, and now we need to do the form on the right side. So right after the contact info, so make sure you get right underneath there. We're going to do another div, and this is going to have our contact form. So for the class name, we're going to do a contact form, and then we have a form. We don't need an action. Form's not going to lead anywhere, but if you guys want to add email.js to it, watch my I did a portfolio website with React, so watch that video. I went over email.js, and that way whenever somebody submits anything to this form, it sends directly to your email. It's really easy to add, but I'm not going to be adding it in this video. So we in the form we did a div, and we got a label. It's gonna be for name, and it's gonna say your name, like that. And then after, let me scroll up some. All right, so label, and then we're gonna need an input, and the type is gonna be text. The ID is gonna be name. Name is going to be name, and the placeholder is going to be your name, and we also going to do required because it's required. All right, cool. And now we're going to do another label, and this is going to be for email. It's going to say your email. Email, like that. And then we need another input, and the type is going to be email, and the ID is going to be email, name, email, like that. And here's some new things that I picked, new skills I picked up on. So we can do autocomplete. I learned this not too long ago. Autocomplete in email. That way, let's see, whenever we, I guess I don't have any emails saved. So any emails that's saved onto your local storage that you use like on another site or something, it'll like autocomplete it with once you start typing it. But I don't, this is a different browser, a different user in the browser. So input, so we're gonna do autocomplete email, and we're gonna do a placeholder of your email, and we also going to do required as well, like that. All right, so we got our name input and our email. Now we need a subject, so let's do another label, and this is going to be for subject. That. And for the text, it's just going to say subject, like that. And do another input. Type is going to be text. The ID is going to be subject. And the name is going to be subject. And the autocomplete is going to be off. And then placeholder is going to be subject, like that. And we also going to require this as well, required. All right, let's take a look. There we go. And now we need to do our text, our area. So right underneath this, we're going to do another label, and this is going to be for message, and it's going to say write your message, like that. And underneath here, it's going to be our text area, I'm from the country, so that's why we see aria, text area. All right, so name, the name is gonna be message. The ID is gonna be message. Columns, you can just remove. We don't want any columns, but rows we're gonna change to 5. And the placeholder is gonna just say write your message dot dot dot. All right, and we also want to require this as well. Required. All right, cool. Let's take a look at that. And there we go. So with text areas, you can like expand it, and it like messes up the entire like thing. So I like taking that off. So we're gonna fix that in CSS. So don't worry about that for now. So right underneath this div, we're going to do our button. So we're gonna do a button, and even though this is not going to do anything, we're gonna do type submit, and we're just gonna say submit like that. All right, and that is our form. Now we can go and style. Well, that's our contact section. We can go ahead and style it now. Let's head over to the CSS, and right underneath here we're gonna do contact styling like that. All right, cool. All right, let's close out of that. Contact, where you at? Okay. All right, so we're gonna grab the contact class first. Let's do contact, and we're gonna do a padding top. Padding top, not padding. Padding top of 5 rem and a width of 100%. That just give us some space, between these two. All right, and let's grab the contact container. So contact dash container. We're gonna do a display grid, and we're gonna do our grid template column trick again. The grid template columns, we're gonna do a repeat, and we need 2, comma, min max, 0, comma, 1 FR, like that. And there we go. And we also gonna do a gap of 1.5 rem, like that. All right, cool. Now let's grab our H2. So let's do a contact info H2. I'm gonna do a font size of 1.875 rem. I don't know why so I think I know what happened. So I looked into Tailwind styling because I really love Tailwind, like how you just do text 1XL, text 2XL, and I actually looked into it, and I've like want to know, when I do a gap 2, I want to know how much that is in CSS. So like I tried to like mimic that style a little bit, and I think 1.875 I believe is text XL, or maybe, yeah, I think it's text XL if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. We can go check actually. Let's go check. Let's do Tailwind CSS, and let's head over to the docs and do font size. Yeah, font size. Let's see. Okay, so it's not. So it's 3XL. Okay, sorry. So it's 1.875. It's 3XL. So yeah, I try to mimic these a little bit because I really like Tailwind styling, man. I really love Tailwind, but I can't really depend on it too much because I'm trying to get a job, and I don't think they'll use Tailwind the place I'm trying to work. So yeah, so I try to mimic these a little bit, so that's why you got these weird font sizes like this, 1.875 rem. All right. And we did a line height of 2.25 rem, and we did a margin bottom of 1.2 rem, and we did a font weight of 400, and our color of that dark or that light gray. Let's take a look. That was the contact me. Now let's grab the P. So contact info P. Contact info P. And same thing as the other paragraph tags we've been using. That's why we probably should have made like a utility class. So font size 1 rem. I did a line height of 1. We did a font weight of 400. And the color of that dark gray, like that. Alright, now let's grab the H3, contact info H3, and we just changed the color of this to the dark gray, and we did a font weight of 700, like that. Alright, and that was that there. Now let's grab the H4. Or actually, no, hold on, wait. We did it a little bit backwards. So the H3 actually get more stylish than this. So for the H3, we did a margin top of 3 rem. We did a font size of 1.2 rem. We did a line height of 2.25 rem. And we did a font weight of 400 and a color of that light gray, like that. There we go. Now it looks better. Now we grab the H4, contact info H4, and we did a color of the dark gray and a font weight of 700. There we go. And now let's grab our socials down here and style them up a bit. Well, they already styled, but we just need to, like, you know, place them, select where we're gonna put them and stuff. So let's do a contact, do contact socials, and we're just gonna do a margin top of 3 rem, like that. Space it out a little bit, and let's grab that H5. So do contact, socials, H5, and we did a font size 1 rem, line height 2.25 rem. Wait, what the hell? Line height 2.25 rem. Font weight 400, and a color of our light gray, like that. All right, cool. And hold on. Contact socials. Let's go back and see what this was. Oh, not that one. I'm looking at the other monitor. All right, contact socials. I don't remember having H5 in here, did we? Oh, it's the H4. Okay. So yeah, we just wrote all that for nothing. And we already styled the H4 up here. So yeah, we don't need this. Let's take this off. We don't need that. Alright. Let's do the social links now. So just gonna do a flex and give it a gap. Let's do a contact. Social links, and we're just going to do a display flex and a gap of 10 pixels, like that. All right, nice. Now let's start styling our form over here. But before we do that, actually no, let's just start styling it. We'll do that after. But the form doesn't really take that many styles, believe it or not, because we can we're gonna style each like input together and everything. So we're just gonna do a form, and first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a width of 100%. All right, and let's go and grab our form and grab our hold on. We probably don't even need this here. Oh, actually, yeah, we need that. So we're gonna do form and grab our input, and we're gonna grab our text area there, like that. And we're gonna style. We're gonna do a width of 100%. As you can see, once we do that, they all take up 100%. And then we're gonna do a color of gray. All right. And we're gonna do a border of 1 pixel, solid, and then we're gonna do RGB 211, 211, 211, and there we go. Nice. And we're gonna do an outline color, outline dash color. We're gonna do this to be our RGB green color, so that way whenever we click on it, it'll, you know, have that green color that we've been using. And we're gonna do a border radius of 0.25 rem, and give it a line height 1.25. Okay, and now we need some padding, so let's give it a padding of 0.75. I played around with this number, 0.75 rem, 1 rem, and there we go. It looks better now. And let's do a margin bottom of 1 rem, space them out a little bit, and now we got a nice looking form. This was one of my biggest like, I could never style a form. It was really hard, but now I'm starting to learn a little bit better how to style them. And yeah, so that's that. And now we just need to do the form button. Let's do form button, and I'm gonna give it a background color of our RGB and color white, a border of none, and our padding 8 pixels top and bottom, 15 pixels left and right, and a border radius of 5 pixels, like that. Cool. And that's really it. We just gotta make it responsive. We could add a hover to our button as well right quick, so let's go ahead and give this a transition. Sorry about the car. Transition 0.3 seconds, all ease in and out. Alright, and let's go ahead and give this a hover. Same hover as we got on all the rest of our buttons. Let's actually just scroll up and see what we got on these. Where you at? Here we go. Hover. Let's grab this. Copy, and let's hit on down. And there we go. We should have a nice hover, and we can also add a cursor pointer like that. Nice. All right, cool. So that is our contact section completed. Actually, no, we got to make it responsive. So let's go ahead and change the screen size. And let's see. You can see, but with the magic of grid, we just need 1 line of code. So I'm gonna do media only, screen, and max width 768 pixels. And we're just gonna grab our contact container. Oh my god, what is with these cars, man? Do grid, template columns, and we're just gonna do a repeat 1 and comma min max 0 comma 1 fr, like that. And with that, you got responsive contact section. So now let's go ahead. I say we go ahead and work on the back to top button right quick. Because I didn't add a home because it's just a 1 page. I had home at first, and I was like, you know, why do we have a home right here? Because, you know, I mean, it's just a 1 page application. So, well, 1 page website. so we don't really need that. So let's go ahead and add the back to top button. So let's head over to our HTML, and we also going to need to do some JavaScript for this as well. So underneath, you can actually place this anywhere you want, but let's just do it right underneath this section. And so we're gonna have a div with a class of BTT button, so back to top button. You can name this whatever you want. And we'll have an href, and it's gonna lead to our index like that. So put slash, and we can also add an aria label for accessibility. Aria label, and we're gonna name it just back to top. And in here, I'm gonna have a ion icon, ion dash icon, and a name is going to be arrow dash up dash outline. That, and that's it. All right, so we should be able to see it underneath our, so there we go. So let's head over to our CSS and start placing this where we want it to be. All right, so right underneath here, we're gonna do a let's just do back to top button styling like that. All right, so let's grab the BTT button, and we're gonna do a position of fixed. So as you can see, it like disappeared. We don't know where the hell it went. I tried finding it, I can't find it. But I'm just gonna do a right. So if you do a right of 0, you'll see it. So as you can see, wait. Okay, we don't see it. Right of 0. Maybe do a bottom of 3 rem. There we go. Now we see it. All right, so there it goes. And we kind of want it, we don't want it that close to the right, so let's do like 10 pixels like that. Whenever we scroll, we see it, and let's do a cursor pointer. All right, and yeah, there we go. So here's the thing. So as you can see, once we at the top, we can see it, and we don't want that. We want to see it only when we start scrolling. So to fix that, let's go ahead and do display none. Okay, we got rid of it, and we're going to make another class named show BTT button, and we're going to display block. All right, so now let's go into JavaScript and add this inside of our sticky nav function. So let's go ahead and grab the back to top button. So cons back to top button. Probably didn't even need to type all of that, but document dot query selector, and we're gonna grab BTT dash button, and make sure you put the dot like that. Okay, so we got our button. So now we can start adding some logic inside of our if else. So if the window scroll Y is greater than 0, our nav get this. So now we can do back to top button dot classless dot add, and we're gonna add that show BTT show BTT button like that. All right, so let's test this out. Let's start scrolling. We don't see it. Wonder why. Go back to top, classless, add. Let's make sure I show dash BTT button at the top. let's see, maybe we gotta add it inside of our else. So inside of our else, we're gonna do it back to top dot remove class list dot remove, and we're gonna remove that show BTT button like that. Okay, let's test this out. Okay, so yeah, we don't see it for some reason. That's weird. All right, let's make sure we did everything right. So document that query selector, and we're grabbing the button. Okay, and so if back to top, so we're adding that's weird. Let's go back and make sure our CSS and everything, BTT, show BTT, display block. It gotta be something that I'm doing wrong. Let's go back to the app.js. Let's see, BTT button. Oh, okay, I see it. I got a dot there. Now we should see it. All right, there we go. So start scrolling, and now we can click on it, and it takes us right back to the top. Nice, cool. So that is the back to top button. So now I say we actually should work on the nav a little bit. So I want to add active states to our nav. So whenever we click on about and it takes us there, it shows like a little green border around it. Same with projects. And to do this, we are going to need JavaScript as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so this one is actually really easy to do. A lot of people actually miss over adding this. So what we're gonna do is inside of our CSS, so you can add this right under no scroll, and we're gonna add a class. We're gonna make up a class, and it's gonna be called, let's see what I named it, a hero. So we're actually not gonna name anything. We're gonna just grab our li. So let's do nav menu, and then we're going to do li.active, and we're going to grab our a tag, and we're just going to have a border of 2 pixels solid, and then our RGB green color like that. You're not going to see anything because we got to go make the magic happen inside of JavaScript. So underneath here, let's go ahead and do some more JavaScript. This one is going to be called active links. And the cool thing about this is you can actually, once you write all of this and you got another project, you don't have to think of like doing this again. Like you could just literally go to your GitHub and copy this over to the new project. And that's like the cool thing of it. That's what a lot of people don't do actually. Like when I was in boot camp, people was like, we was doing a project. I'm like, dude, we just did this, you know, on another project. So why not just go to the GitHub and copy it instead of trying to, you know, remember it? And I mean, it's just like, so that's why I'm really naming these. So if you want to make a sticky nav, just come here and just copy this code and paste it onto your next project. So I really recommend doing that. But you know, sometimes you do want to keep doing it over and over so you can just get it in your head. But once you do it a certain amount of times, man, you don't need to do it, keep doing it over. Just copy and paste it. I'm going to equal that to document dot query selector all. So make sure you add the all, and we're going to grab dot nav dash menu space li and grab our a tags. So like that. Okay, and then here we're going to do a for each loop. So we're going to do nav links dot for each. So for each link, we're going to return, well, we're not going to return, but we're going to do a add event listener. So we're going to listen out for a click. So add event listener, and do a click. Make sure you add a comma, and then we're going to do a function. So you can do the right function or you can do an arrow function. I like doing arrow functions. And we're actually going to take on an event. So you can put E, or you can type out event if you want. And now in here we're going to do another for each loop. So we're going to do nav links dot for each, and then we're going to do link and then we're going to do link dot parent element dot classless dot remove, and we're going to remove the active class like that. All right, so you shouldn't see any changes right now. So active, and now make sure you add a comma. Now we're going to do grab our nav menu, which we did up here, and grab our nav menu, and I'm going to do a classless dot remove active like that. And then we're going to do our hamburger dot classless dot remove active. So with this, the reason why I'm grabbing a hamburger menu is because whenever we click on the link inside of our mobile, I want the menu to close like that. So whenever we click, I want the menu to close. So without this line of code here, and I believe it's without that one as well. Whenever we click, now as you can see, the mobile menu is still open. It's showing the X. So without this line there, let's test that again. Oh, now the code is broken, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. So that's why we add in this here. So whenever we click on the links, the menu close, and the hamburger menu close as well. So make sure you add commas as well. And comma, and then comma, and then we also going to do a body dot classless dot remove, and we're going to remove the no scroll that we added on whenever the menu is open. So we're going to remove that as well. Okay, and now after that, hold on. So we're going to close out right there. Actually, hold on, let's see what we're doing wrong here. Actually, no, it's not close out there. So trying to see where where's the closing tag for this is at. So I think the closing tag is for here. We don't want that. We want the closing tag to be down here for that. Like that. Okay. All right, cool. And then right after that, we're gonna do this dot parent element dot classless dot add, and we're gonna add active. Like that. All right. So with that, I think we are good to go. Let's see. Nope, we're not. Okay, let's make sure we got everything right. Let's see. Nav links for each. It's something I did wrong. I already know. It's probably like one little syntax error where I'm just mistyping something. All right, guys. So I think I found the issue. And so for we did an arrow function here. I'm not sure why this wouldn't work. But for some reason, it kind of just wants you to do function, and then we're just going to do event like that. And with that, we should have our active links now. And yeah, so that is that. So now let's go ahead and start the footer. So let's head over to index.html, scroll down, and right underneath, I guess actually right underneath this section, you just do footer. this shouldn't take too long. The footer ain't that much. Let's do footer like that. And okay, so for the footer, 2 lines of code. I'm gonna do a div, and the class name is gonna be actually semantic first. Let's do footer. And then for the class, the div inside, we're gonna do a div dot container and dot footer container, just in case we want to add some more styles to it. And then in here it's going to be p, and I'm going to do the and symbol. We're going to make the little copyright logo, so and copy like that 2023, and you can put your name.com, and then do all rights reserved like that. All right, cool. There we go. And we just got to style this up a bit. So let's head over to the styles, CSS. And not that much styling. So let's head down and just go ahead and just keep on organizing it, even though it's like one simple line. So let's do footer styles like that. And we're just gonna grab our footer container, and we're gonna do a text align of center and a padding of 15 pixels top and bottom and 0 left and right, and that's it. Yeah, so that's really it. So now we're done with the actual project, but I do want to show you guys about GSAP. Something that I've been slowly trying to learn, but you know, we still got framer motion and stuff for React, so I really don't work with it that much. So yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I do know a little bit of how to, you know, add some decent looking animations. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so let's go ahead and add GSAP. Let's go ahead and look it up. So let's go GSAP npm right here, and it should give you, okay, so yeah, this is what we need, the CDN. Let's grab this. We're also gonna need another one as well, so let's grab that. And where you at? Index. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it in the top here, right under our icon script. And then we need another one, so head back to Google, and we're gonna do GSAP scroll trigger like that. It should be, let's type in npm scroll trigger right here. All right, okay, so they didn't, I need the how to install. I don't want npm, I want let me just paste it, and maybe you guys can just copy it. So script https cdnjs.cloudflare.com, and then ajax -libs -gsap 3.71 scroll trigger. So just copy this here instead of me having to look for it again. All right, cool. So we got GSAP installed. Let's head over to our app.js and start writing some GSAP. All right, it's not that much actually. So I'm just gonna type in, I'm gonna do animations like that. All right, this is gonna be our animations. So we're gonna do a const animate elements like that, and this is going to equal GSAP dot utils dot to array, and you can name this whatever you want, but I did animate. So whenever we add an animate class to our project, those are going to be the elements that animate. So I did animate, and we're gonna do a GSAP dot from, and I'm gonna do animate elements, Let me just scroll down so you guys can see. Elements, and we do a comma. And in here, we're gonna list a bunch of stuff of what we want it to do. So we want the opacity. Opacity to be 0. And we want Y to be 50. Make sure you add a comma. We want the duration. Sorry about the car. It's like, sheesh. Duration to be 1. We want stagger to be 0.2 with the comma. And we want scroll trigger. So this is what we just added. So scroll trigger. And in here, I'm gonna do trigger. I wonder why it's not auto-completing. Hopefully I added everything right. I'm gonna do animate, elements, the index of 0. And we want it to start. Oh, we forgot to add the comma, that's why. Comma, start, top 80%. And you want it to end. Make sure you add a comma. End. Add bottom. %, comma. And you want the toggle actions. Actions. Make sure I spell that right. Actions with an S. You want it to be play, none, none, reset, like that. Okay, so that with that, we should have animations. It's like, well, we gotta add the animate class to what we want to animate. So this is us creating that animate class. So let's head over to our index and let's add animate. So you don't want to add one to the navbar, because one thing I found about GSAP is really buggy, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm just now starting to learn it, but so far it's really buggy. I'll stick to React frame of motion, but whenever I'm using vanilla, I'm definitely gonna use GSAP. So section class hero, so we want this to animate, so let's do animate for the class, and let's see if it works. Animate like that. Okay, let's see, refresh. Okay, it doesn't work. Maybe add it on this class here. Animate like that. See? Oh, okay, that's weird. Let me just make sure that our script and everything is it's the right script. Let's hit back up and let me make sure. Script. Okay. So I'm not using this GSAP. I'm actually using an older one inside mine. So let's use this one. Let's paste. So make sure you guys copy this one. See CDN, JS, Cloudflare, Ajax, Libs, GSAP 3.71. Okay, and that's the whole reason why we got the scroll trigger as well. And with that, now when we refresh, nothing happens. Nice. All right, so I see the issue. I spelled GSAP wrong. So GSAP, and now with that, we should see an animation. There we go. Nice. And you can play around with this a little bit. So here, scroll trigger. So if you want it to come in from the left and right, I think you just do left and do right maybe. Let's see if that works. Let's see what happens with that. Actually keep that like that. I think it's like, so it changes from X. There we go. I think that looks better with the X anyway. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I like that better. And you can just play around with this a little bit. So you can have this one coming in from the left and this one coming in from the right. All you have to do is just make a const like this, so you can do let me just show you guys actually. So we can do let's do const animate image like that, and we could do a GSAP dot utils dot toArray, and we can make a, let's just do animate dot animate image like that. Right, that's gonna be our class that we're gonna add onto our image. And now what we can do is actually let's see. So I don't even think we need the scroll trigger, to be honest, but let's just do GSAP dot from, and this is just all, I'm just adding this for just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So we can do animate image, and then opacity is going to be 0. Opacity is going to be 0, and then X is going to be, we can do, I guess, maybe -50. Maybe that'll work. And then duration 1, and then stagger 0.2, like that. Let's see if that works without the scroll trigger. Let's head back over to index, and so we got that. Let's take animate off of this section, so we can put animate on our hero info, and then we're gonna put animate what was it, animate image, what did I name it? Animate image, animate image, like that. Let's see. All right, cool. So I think we do gotta add the scroll trigger here. Let's just copy this and do a comma, that. Now let's see. It's either that or you can't do a negative value. Maybe I gotta put that in parentheses like that. Like I said, I'm just now learning this as well. X -50. Take that off. Animate image. Oh, let's see. Animate image. All right. Oh, I spelled G. Oh my god, dude. What the hell? Sheesh, bro. Okay. There we go. You see? -50. It goes that way. And let's remove the scroll trigger and see if it still works. There we go. So we don't even need the scroll trigger thing. There you go. That looks better in my opinion. Yeah, it looks way better. Let's keep it like that. All right. So that's that. And now what we can do, we can go ahead and add animations to our whatever you want it to be. So you can add it to this section. So let's head over to index. And on our container here, I'm gonna just do animate. See, refresh. There you go. So yeah, you can just add it to anything you want, but I highly recommend do not add it on the navbar. Let's see if it messes up on a navbar. Let's see. Nav, let's do animate like that. All right, so let's refresh. I mean, it don't really mess up, but still, I don't recommend it. Actually, don't look bad at all. But yeah, that's really it for this video. I don't know how long I've been recording, but yeah, so that's it. I will see you guys next video. Next video, I'm actually recreating my first Tailwind project, and I might do a tutorial on it as well. And then I'm also working on an e-commerce site. So bunch of projects. This project's really come in handy. I'm starting to feel really confident with React and JavaScript and everything. But yeah, so that's it for me today. I will see you guys next video. Peace.